Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Genshin Impact. Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally going to get into a progress report. Now, I'm progressing and grinding so much so that I actually have something to show you guys, and also kind of theory craft with you guys about where I'm going. And if I'm going in a completely bad direction, then let me know. But I'm going to tell you guys my plans, and then hopefully in like the next video or whenever that comes out, we're going to be actually executing said plan. Now, I finally, oh, I didn't mention shit. Sorry. In the one video where we talked about how to increase adventure rank without using resin, I wanted to mention that I wanted to wait to do that video until I got to 45. Regardless, hi, we're adventure rank 45. We got there. I was able to get there pretty fast, actually, within, like, I think I have videos, I'm not sure when I'll show you guys, but I was just trying to do the main story quest for Mona and everyone to get me there, but I did that, as well as grind some chests, and that got me there the next day, which was awesome. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, here are my characters. Razor hits like a truck, like an absolute truck. Now, I want to make a video just dedicated to each character when I already have them kind of made. We made a video on Razor when it comes to his constellation, but I don't necessarily know. Well, I'm going to build him a certain way, but Razor is kind of an enigma when it comes to his artifacts. Just to talk to you guys about it for a little bit, Razor's simple kit is using his the Gladiator set. Now, the thing is, this set is great for Razor, but the thing that's negative is that it's hard to perfect. So if you want to get good sub-talents, it's kind of annoying to get that. But if you just get the base versions of them, it's great. It gives you 18 extra attack. On top of that, it's another 35% of your base damage increase. Love that. All that's fantastic. If they ever release a kind of another set that scales physical damage, then oh boy, that's gonna be nuts. For right now, we have the Gladiator set. Now, the thing that sucks is, again, you can only farm this set once or 3 times a week because it's dropped from the 3 bosses that you fight, the Valen, Wolf, and, of course, Child. Now, his alternative set is if we go to Domains within the Adventure book, we'll be able to see... Yes, it's this one right here. Increases electricity damage by 15%. Now, if you have Razor built for recharge, you're able to stay in your wolf form forever, basically. But also, it increases damage caused by overload and superconduct. And it triggers this status effect, decreases your elemental cooldown, whatever, that doesn't matter. But what does matter is the increases your elemental overload by 40%. Now, I don't know if it's still worth it, to be honest. Like, yeah, I still think it's probably better to, like, I think you only lose a couple more damage, and yeah, but also... It's weird because when you get to endgame, it's almost better to build for electricity because it scales slightly better because of there's so much damage within elemental reactions. But I don't know. I kind of like Razor just being the character that just kind of like hits hard with his base damage and just does that. But maybe in the future, or maybe when I'm like, hey, the only thing that makes me want to get this though is because you can farm for it right now and try to get the best version with recharge, physical damage, crit rate, all the things that are valuable to Razor. So yeah, I don't know. But I feel like I want to stick with the Gladiator set because I kind of vibe with that one. But anyways, so that's my plans for Razor. I'm kind of torn between I want to go with the Gladiator set, but I'm really tempted just to grind out a good relic for this. Now, the thing that's been on the top of my to-do list is the fact that I have taken the insane challenge of not having a healer. I'm a dum-dum, don't know why I chose this path in my life, but we did it. Anyways, what's good, little big old brother, Razor, wolf thing? Maybe you're like the wolf god. I don't know, regardless. Razor's always sad when he sees him leave. Anyway, the person that I've been leveling up is Zhongli. Now, with that being said though, I have actually went way more and started leveling up Razor's talents just because I fuck with his talents way more. But Zhongli, I've been spending all of my resin trying to grind for his artifacts. Now, the build that I, specifically me, am going for, I'm not sure if it's the best, but it's trying to make Zhongli the best support specifically about shields. I don't necessarily need his ult damage because Razor can make up for that with relative ease. I need to be able to stay alive with Razor, and when his shield gets one-banged, it's a problem. Now, yes, it takes a lot to one-bang his shield, but we're about to go do this domain, and you guys will see that it's not that it's pretty easy for them to do it because we're in order to basically get the 2 legendaries or 1 legendary to drop. we need to do the max domain. Now, for whatever reason, people have been saying you have a chance of getting like 2 legendaries to drop. I have never got that to happen, so that's just maybe me. I'm not going to say I'm unlucky, because by God, I'm really lucky in this game, and I appreciate that. God of luck, appreciate you if you're a thing. I love you. Anyways, regardless. The reason why we're farming this, by the way, is these 2 things right here. We get, I want this one, which increases just a 2 stack, increases Geo bonus damage. That's awesome. And I want this one, so I want 2 of each pair. So I want increased shield strength for 35%, love that, as well as I want this, the ability to increase Geo damage. Now there is a debate, or there was a debate, I don't think it's really a debate anymore, but there is another thing that maybe rivals that one. I think it may be this. Yes, elemental burst damage. The reason why I would say not to go for this is because you're only minusing 5 extra damage, or 5%, because it's the difference between 15 Geo elemental damage. Now the thing is that Zhongli doesn't just have his ult, he has his pillars, which also can consistently pulsate with damage. So I think I'd rather take the 5% hit and buff 2 things rather than just the 1, especially when you're only losing 5 damage. It's not that bad. So that's where we're building Zhongli. Now, I honestly, I probably could make Zhongli what I want him right now, but I'm holding out for perfection, and that's gonna get me killed. Okay, but if you guys look at this, we got HP percentage. I leveled up this one a little bit just because I needed a little bit of shield. This one is kind of interchangeable. We have attack damage or crit damage, attack, and defense. Also, maybe I move my face cam to the bottom left corner or something, just away from the stats, because it's always on top of it. But yes, I would much rather have HP or crit chance or crit damage, something in that regard, but I don't. So I need a better flower, basically. And this one isn't any better. It's got a crit rate, defense, and elemental mastery, yes, but like, again, it's... Anyways, the defense things are killing me. It's not a bad flower for what's her name, the rock girl, which I might give her this, but we'll talk about the rock girl in a little bit. But this one is attack. We got HP, and defense, and guess what? Every single time I roll this thing, it buffs defense, and not HP. Rah! Anyways, then there's this, this starts to where it gets pretty good. I got HP percentage. That's big. HP percentage is way better than just base HP. It increases the base percentage of your HP, which is so much better than just base HP. Love that. Also, we got attack, and a little bit of defense. I don't really care. Honestly, the thing that I want from these next 3 that are able to be random is HP, and you guessed it, HP. So all of these have a chance of being like physical damage, defense, HP. These ones are the ones that you can kind of play with, these 3. But as you guys can see, we got another HP percentage cup. Love that. And we got another, oh no, this was the one that I need. This is the one that I'm waiting for. I need another HP percentage for this. And that is a thing that can happen. There, so we are able to get HP percentage on these, on a hat or a crown, whatever, mask, helmet. So I'm waiting for one of those. So that's the last thing, and I think I'll just say fuck it, and I'll just level it up. And also we'll try to mix and mash to get me to that end. But I want max HP. Again, if you guys are unfamiliar for why I want max HP, it's because if you go to Razor's talents, I believe, yes, your shield specifically scales with your max HP. So yeah, it scales off of how many enemies you hit with your shield as well as your max HP. I do believe it's... Yes, 17% of your max HP. Pretty good. Not only that, but building him for HP, it's not better, but it's fine. But you're better off building him for damage, but just because, again, I'm not making him like a damage alt. I'm making him support, and also if he could have the resolve of having a little more damage in his alt, then sure. But yes, this is also why building him HP is not the worst idea. Again, if you want to make him just a cannon, you should build him for just physical damage attack, because that's what this thing scales off of, Planet Befall specifically. So yeah, that's where we're going. That's why we're going there. Rah! Next thing. Yes. Also, that's brutal, man. We're only getting like an eighth of a second, of a percentage of a second, you know? We're not even getting 4 seconds per thing. I mean, I get it. It's kind of a long CC, but Venti's gonna lock people down for much longer, but it's not big enemies, so I kind of get it. But anyways, that's the objective with Zhongli. So Zhongli's who I've been working on. I'm pretty close to getting him there. Again, I just need to get one of these to HP, and then we'll be good in good company. And I hope it's one of these ones, because all of my other ones are the shield type, which I want. And again, if I were just to shut up and level these up, I would be way better off. We're about to go do this dungeon, and my shield will break. But hopefully after this, my shield will break less. Hopefully. And who knows, maybe if I find like an artifact set that increases shield strength even more, I'll just veto the 15 geo damage. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. Both Razor is pretty much taken care of. He can hit pretty hard, and then of course Zhongli keeps Razor alive, allowing him to keep hitting hard. Now I have these two kind of flex characters that I don't really know what to do with, besides her. As by the way, I didn't mention this. On stream, I was like, okay guys, I really hope we can get one more constellation for her, because it kind of sets her free. Yes and no. The character just doesn't build up ult charge that fast at all, so it's not really that good. It's not necessary. Like I don't notice that I'm like always having my ult to go into the next encounter, so I don't know what to say. I probably could have been building her and I would have had this similar-ish result. But anyways, yes, it's basically I just keep layering I keep layering Razor with shield over shield, and it's paying off in a pretty spectacular way. You guys will see. I'm not sure if it's as good as having like a Felch, which is just a DPS ability and not like an ability that enables Razor. But with her, I think it might actually rival that, because one of the things that she has when you get her talent up, the reason why I love her so much in combination with Razor is because of this right here. When an ally character is shielded by Sweeping Fervor, which is her shield, they get 15 bonus physical damage. That's pretty damn nuts. Also, it also reduces the amount of people you need to get to the point where your like shield just keeps pulsating, which is great. But again, I will say I always wish she was buffed. Like I would rather the shield be weaker, but constantly being able to somewhat output fire, because that's kind of the annoying thing. If you don't get a trigger of stage 2 of her shield or stage 3 of her shield, it's just useless. Like it's just like a generic ass shield that does like a little bit of pyro damage and then stops. So that's kind of shitty. But yes, she is fully built for support. I don't have her built for that nor that. This might be something that I would invest in later on, but as of right now, not so much. Okay, so we're not done with her yet. This is something that I wanted to ask you guys about because I don't know and I would like to test it. But essentially, how I think I'm going to build her. He's, again, the alcoholic, Zhongli, just talking all about how he's gonna get shit-faced, and honestly, it's bad luck. It's bad luck, Zhongli. Here we go. So, I think, I'm not sure. I think this is how I'll build her, but I don't know if this is how she works. So, the ideal pyro thing in the game, if you're a pyro character and you deal pretty good pyro damage, the thing that you should be building for is this. That's what everyone says, at least. But we got pyro damage plus 15, awesome. But then there's this. Increases overload, which is electricity and fire together, and burn damage by 40%. Increases vaporize and melt by 15%, less good. Using elemental skills increases the two-piece set by 50. Max stack is 3. I don't know what that means. I don't know why it has stacks. But basically, what I'm wondering is, will this scale if I give it to another person? So if I activate her alt or her like ability, and I happen to get 2 people, and then we start pushing out pyro damage, and if I give the ability and the shield to another character, will it still keep outputting that same damage, or does she have to wear the shield in order for it to apply it? Because if it doesn't, then dude, this is gonna be nuts with Razor. Again, all I would need to do is just build her for recharge just to get to her ult, which, by the way, that's another thing. I should not shit on her too much because I don't have her built at all. I don't have her built for recharge. I have her built for basically nothing. So I shouldn't shit on her too bad. But if this works out, where I can actually apply her shield, and because it exists in the world with the damage modifications, and then I give it to Razor, and Razor is hitting with his slashes or his ult, constantly proccing an overload, which is dealing 40% bonus damage, and Razor already hits hard with physical damage, that will just take him to an insane amount. Now, the one thing that does nerf this is this right here. So even if we activate her shield, and we activate Zhongli's shield, you guys can see that it's layered in a really unfortunate way. Enemies will always break through her shield before Zhongli's, which sucks because Zhongli's shield is insane. Also, her shield doesn't last too long, and unfortunately, you can't increase that by leveling her up. So that's a little unfortunate. So it will be like a burst, which is why I think I would just harmonize that with Razor, but even though Razor always has his ult. And as a Venti, I didn't know this, but Venti actually has an amazing set that I just never had. So those guys who don't know, all of my characters have been running with terrible, terrible artifacts forever. Why? Why? I'm going top left and it's like, no, you're not. You're not. Just want to fucking headbutt you. I'm really angry today. I don't mean to be this way. I want to play video games, but I'm real bitter. I don't know what's happened. Yeah, right here, animo damage bonus, solid. Venti just does a shit ton of animo damage all the time, but increases swirl damage by 60%, decreasing enemies' elemental resistance. With swirl. I don't know, man. This to me would be godly for just debuffing people with Venti for their element, and then just applying that overload and overload and overload. So we would just be a walking damaged field. If I can build Zhongli to keep Razor alive, because if I can't, then well, he's dying really, really easily. This all hinges on Razor not going down because he's the face of the team and all that. But anyways, so yes, that is the plan as of right now, is to, of course, first I need to, I can't really build Razor, unfortunately. Again, I will keep doing my weeklies and hopefully I get better resources or a better gladiator set, because the only thing that I really need from Razor, yes, I could like go to the meticulous like thing of finding the perfect substats in each one of those, but I've already gotten pretty lucky with the substats not being the worst. But the things that I want from Razor are this. For instance, if I could get a goblet that either has physical damage or electricity damage, which are both possible, I think. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I just need to get attack percentage then. I thought you could get physical, but I guess not. Huh. Yeah, no, I guess I would just want one with attack percentage then. Shitty. Or elemental mastery would not also be, but no, I think I'd rather attack. Yeah. Okay, so I want one with attack for this attack percentage. Where right now I have elemental mastery, not good. But it does have 19 attack and 4 attack. Maybe that's why I chose it. That may not be the worst. Regardless, something to think about. But for this, we got physical damage, which is awesome. But you can also in these cups luck out and get like geo damage, which you can also get. Electricity damage, which is also something that I might want more than everything else. Although the cup that cup substats are also not bad, so I don't know. Yeah, this one has 20. I remember that's why I kept it on. And then this one, again, this one is crit damage. If I could get something that is not crit damage but crit rate, I would be over the moon. So if we get a gladiator set with crit, oh, we do got crit rate. What? Well, shit. We got HP though, but crit rate, I might use that one. I didn't even know I had that. Neat. Yeah, crit rate's way more than what I need, rather than crit damage, because I just don't have that much crit rate at all. But again, most things will. Again, when you see a thing that only has like 2 or 1 stats on it, then it's just begging to get defense and HP on it all the time. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. I just want to make a quick update video for you guys, talking about where we're going. So essentially, that's where I'm going to try to build all my characters. So Razor, I'm going to keep trying to grind away at his one set. Crit rate, let's lock that. That's not bad. That could have potential. Although the HP there does kind of make me like a little And that's honestly it. That's like the biggest thing with me. I'm trying to end the video, but that's like the biggest thing with me is like, I'm like, well, I don't want to invest in this thing that's like failed me. Like if I keep rolling on this thing and bringing it to 20, it's just going to keep rolling defense. But I think I need to get over that, especially on certain characters like Zhongli, where I just need the HP percentage to keep Razor alive so he can keep hitting things. Because that's the problem right now, is I still have to dodge whenever that shield breaks, which in the next video you guys will see, it happens quite a bit. But anyways, then right now the top priority, just because it's something that we can do, I would much rather grind out Razor just because he's my main DPS, but I can't do that yet, so we're just grinding out Zhongli. The next, of course, is leveling up her and testing if that does work, where like I can activate her Pyro Shield, and it outputs the crazy damage, and then I could give that to another, and hopefully doesn't lose those benefits. Theoretically, if I brought it into the world with that high damage, and I switched to another character, it would still have that damage, right? And then it also just recharge would be the only thing I want from her, is just the recharge, because I feel like the super conduct 40% bonus damage would just be more than enough to level the field. And then I got Razor, which increases their physical or their attack, elemental weaknesses, so they can take more damage from like the swirl. So if I apply a swirl onto someone and I start smashing their head in, then that should debuff them and giving me a pretty good chance. Also, just the nature of how these characters are played, me doing this and then doing this and then doing this, and then going back to Zhongli, now I can cast his other thing. And now there's like no downtime, you know what I mean? And now I can get into it. So yeah, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, in the next video, we're gonna start grinding for some relics and domains, and we're honestly gonna do like the true end game thing that exists within Genshin, which is very much just doing domains and trying to get the perfect artifacts so that you can just dunk on things and perfect your build. But by the way, we still need another build or another DPS character. I don't know who we're gonna choose, but we need one because it's Spiral Abyss. You need 2 teams and you need 2 DPSs, and maybe Genyu. I don't know. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully you guys do enjoy the rest of your day. Subscribe button to my right. Also, let me know if I'm off by anything. Maybe you know if that shield technique does work. I don't know. Thank you again, and goodbye.